Hey, what's up, guys? Justin from Vanguard Vlogs here with another week of BT14 Brilliant Strike video. Now, I wanted to talk to you briefly about the haul we took in from the case, or carton, I think is what they call them, so that you can get a better sense of like all of what we got, and if you may be buying a case like it's something you might want to consider in the future. So I put everything in my trade binder, so like I'm just gonna be flipping through here. So first off, we did pull quite a few. I think we pulled 7 of the Master Wisteria Neo-Nectar Brake Ride, and his effect is basically when somebody brakes ride, excuse me, just 8. When somebody brake rides over him, you call a copy of 2 other rear guards in the separate rear guard circle. So like if you have a row, you call a second row of them. So I have 3 extra of that. Jared took the other 4, so there will be a deck profile starring Jared and Jay talking about the Neo-Nectar deck in more detail. And then just flipping through here until I find the page of more pulls. So we pulled 7 Shield Goddess Aegis, and again 7 Red Musketeer Antonio. So the reason I held on to these is because even though I'm not playing this, A, we had a lot, so Jared could take his and I could still keep some, and B, because when Legion comes out, Musketeer has a really good Legion, and you're going to want the Musketeer Perfect Guard. So get a hold of these now while they're not too expensive. I don't think they'll be very expensive. Maybe like $6 to $8. Get a hold of them now if you want to play that Legion later. And I held on to Shield Goddess Aegis because also when Legion comes out, it would be good. Every meta player in Japan runs like at least 1 or 2 quintet walls, just because it gets you a lot of it gets you a lot of cards in the drop zone early, so that you can Legion, which is really nice of them. Okay, flipping through. So here we have like the bulk of the pulls. Up in the top left here, we got 2 SPs. The 2 SPs that I am not getting rid of or anything. I don't intend to keep. We have SP Grand Ezel Scissors and SP Hayakivo Reverse. Now, I don't really have the stomach to make a Murakumo deck. It didn't get enough support in this set where you could just make the deck out of this set. I don't really want to go back because I liked having a Murakumo deck for fun, but I've since passed it on to somebody else who likes it way more. So if I can, I'll do like a video talking about the Murakumos, but I won't do like a full deck profile. I don't have it on me, and I'll find somebody else because I know a couple guys at my shop who are making Ezel Scissors, so I will find somebody to make a deck profile video on that for my channel. But the way these cards work is Ezel Scissors' effect is Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2. Unlock all of your locked cards, which I know they lead with that, but that's not like the bulk of the effect. If the number of Gold Paladin rear guards if you have is 5 until the end of the turn, this gets 10,000 and a critical. At the end of the turn, Soul Charge 1, choose a card from your damage zone and turn it face up. So that seems really good because you Counterblast 2, Soul Blast 2, and then you Soul Charge 1, unflip 1, so that theoretically next turn you would have both enough Counterblast and you'd be closer to having enough Soul. If you broke road him, you would definitely have enough to do this 2 turns in a row. The problem is just swinging for like 28, I'm saying 28, 31 with a booster and a double critical. That's pretty easy to get over, unfortunately. And keeping 5 rear guards in the field, like regardless, because here's the unlock effect, so it's not like something you have to worry about because of Link Joker, because you can unlock everything. But against something like Narukami or some of the newer Kagura that has a lot of retiring, keeping all those cards on the field, it's gonna be a lot. You'd have to run a lot of draw, and I know like their gimmick is to call, but it's still a lot. It's still a pretty powerful ability. It's just not my favorite. And then here we have Covert Demonic Dragon Hyakivo Reverse. Again, one of the weird reverses without a cross ride. He's not a cross ride. But his effect reads: choose 2 of your Murakumo rear guards and lock them. Choose up to 3 of your Covert Demonic Dragon Hyakivo Reverse. So that's like the one in your Vanguard and 2 rear guard ones. And give them each 10,000. Very cool. He kind of brake rides himself. Auto, Counterblast 2, when he's placed in the Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 card named him, call it to rear guard and shuffle through your deck. So basically, the strategy is just have 3 of him swing really big. Which, he's good. I've been kind of on the fence about him. Also, the SP is beautiful, by the way. He's good on his own. If you could put him into another deck, I think he'd be better. And even with the brake ride, he's fine. But Murakumo just doesn't have like the updated support that they need to make the deck work as a whole. All they have is a powerful grade 3. Like, I can't even begin to think of what else you would run. Like, I would want to run a 10k booster, but I struggle to think if they even have one. And as far as what they got in the set, they got a lot of stuff that can move from one rearguard circle to the other, which I don't really understand why. I guess it's so that you can move things around and lock things and do whatever, but I'm just not a fan. So then we have 7 Sunlight Goddess Yatagarasu. And for what it's... 6, I'm sorry. For what it's worth, as far as the big grade 3 triple Rs go, we got 6 or 7 of each. Most of the time when we got 7, we got an SP. So if you're going to buy a carton, expect to get like 6 to 7 of all the big cards. And then a bunch of perfect cards and quintet walls and all that stuff. So yeah, 5 Sunlight Goddess Yatagarasu. Her ability is Soul Blast 9, which is, I think that's the most of any card. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, pay the cost if you draw 2 cards and stand 2 Genesis rear guards. So it's multiple attack type of card. And then during the battle phase of this unit is attacked, when your Genesis Guardian is put into the drop zone, you can put that card into your soul, only use once per turn. So you can put 1 card from the guard zone into your soul, which is cool. My big problem with her is that she's good. She's good, but she doesn't really fit with the new support. All the support that came out is Regalia, and it's for the new Break Ride and Minerva. So her, on her own, doesn't really fit. You'd have to go back and buy an old Break Ride and get old support together. I just thought it was kind of weird to put it on this set, but I don't know. I'm sure people will find themselves using it and enjoying it, because it is a good card. I just don't know. I just don't know what to do with it, because I'm making Minerva. So we also got 7 Liberator Bonds Gantalot Zenith, 4 of which I've already put in my deck, so I'll be doing a deck profile. Just so you know, deck profiles are coming up. Gantalot Zenith is one of them. Ezel Scissors will be one of them. Dauntless Reverse will be one of them. Planetal Dragon will be one of them. Neo Nectar will be one of them. Eradicators will be one of them, and I'm missing... Jewel Knights will be one of them. So there's a lot of deck profiles coming up, and a lot of battles as well. So Liberator Bonds Gantalot Zenith. The way this card works is he's a cross break ride to the Gold Paladin Liberator Gantalot that came in the old trial deck. His effect: counterblast 1 card with Liberating a name. Choose one of your grade 2 or less rear guards, put it at the bottom of your deck. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck, search for up to 1 Gold Paladin from among them, call it to an open rear guard, and that unit gets 10k. Oh crap, I forgot to do that. Oh well. So why is he good? Well, there's 2 ways you can look at his effect. The way I think they intend for you to do it is swing with a column, or just like swing with a 12k attacker or something, like a grade 2 in the front. Then he attacks, retire that one, resolve his effect, and give it 10,000. And then when you swing with him, you'll have 2 triggers, and that way you'll have a 4th really strong attack, and you still have the potential to give it critical or whatever. So it's a good way to, like, when you first break ride him, he's swinging for 23 on his own because he's a cross ride. So my main strategy is you swing with that 10k booster or a big booster. When you break ride, give the back card the power from the break ride. That way you're swinging for a lot. Bait out a perfect guard, then use his effects to get a new column that's even stronger, to try and either force out a second perfect guard and make them have wasted it, or to put them in a really tough spot where they're going to have to take some damage. I think it's a great card. Deck profiling coming. Then we pulled 5 Dauntless Dominant Drive Dragon Reverse. Now, the interesting thing about this card is that art is awesome, effect is good, only worth about $8. And I was really surprised by that until I thought the reason that he's only worth about $5 to $8 is because freaking he's a cross break ride to Dauntless Drive Dragon, and Dauntless Drive Dragon is like $40. He's so expensive. The people who have him all play Novell because they're all snobs and monsters. So nobody is really like, the people who are looking for this card already have it, and the people who like get it don't want to try and get Dauntlesses because they're too expensive. That being said, he is quite a good card. So the way Dauntless works is when you break ride, you can restand your new Vanguard. So his effect is counterblast 1 and choose a Kagura rear guard and lock it. Till the end of this turn, this unit gets, when this unit drive check reveals a grade 1 or greater Kagura, choose one of your opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards and retire it. This unit gets 3k to the end of the turn. So what's so good about that effect, and for what it's worth, it's very, very good. If I had Dauntlesses, I would probably make this deck. what's so good about it is the fact that when you break ride and you can do the restanding, not only do you have the potential to get 4 triggers, you have the potential to retire 4 grade 1 or less rear guards. But you also have the potential to get him over guarding just barely, because he gets, so if you don't get a trigger, you get to do his effect with the retiring. And even if it doesn't retire somebody, he gets 3,000. So if you were in, if they guard for, let's say you're swinging for 13, and they are at 11 and they guard for 10, or something like that, some hypothetical scenario. If you get a trigger, let me make sure I did the math right. Yeah, if you get a trigger and then a grade 1 or higher, not only are you retiring one, but you are still getting over their attack. Because now he's suddenly at 21 over to their 21 and they don't have enough to guard it. So it makes swinging for perfect numbers really easy. And I got 6 of those. Yeah, good card. So I got more normal Ezel Scissors. Over here, we have Maiden of the Venus Flytrap, a reverse. Now, she's actually a way cooler art card than I thought she was, but the foiling on her is very, very plain. Her effect reads, Counterblast 1, choose one of your Neo Nectar rear guards, and lock it. Look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to 1 Neo Nectar from among them, call it to rear guard, shuffle your deck, give it 5k. Why is this good? Well, this is good because you can do, it's an act that you can do multiple times. I would only recommend doing it maybe twice per turn, because you could leave your front open and then call 2 things and they each get 5, and it makes up for the fact that they may not be getting boosted. But on top of that, she works really well with the break ride, because you break ride, call 2, and then you can call copies. Wait, I'm very confused now. No, actually, you know what? I don't think this works that well with the break ride, actually. Because you break ride, you call copies of 2 that you have. No, okay. So this effect is not something you would use the same turn as you break ride. Not even close. You definitely would not. I would wait a few turns, because when you break ride, you're essentially getting a full new row, so there would be no reason to use her effect unless you just didn't happen to have a card behind her, if you wanted one more card. Huh, interesting. It's still a good effect. I'm just it just doesn't have the same kind of synergy with the break ride that I thought it would, that some other cards do. But it is still good. It does still work like that. You just don't want to. It's like Tempest Bolt. You don't want to break ride Tempest Bolt and then use his effect on that same turn, because then it's over retiring and you're not getting that much out of all of the counterblast. Yeah, still a cool card though. And we have a bunch of copies of Hyaki Vogue, Murakumo, Breaker Eye. This one is Counterblast 1. When a Murakumo rides this unit, pay the cost. If you do, choose your Vanguard, and until the end of the turn, it gets 10,000 power. Search your deck for up to 2 cards with the same name as that card. Call them to separate rear guards. Shuffle the deck. At the end of the turn, return the units called with this effect to your hand. So that's the main reason why that effect works so well. You break ride Hyaki Vogue, call 2 more Hyaki Vogue, then bounce them to your hand. So not only do they not get destroyed, on the next turn you could use Hyaki Vogue to call the 4th one from your deck, and then you just have so many cards. That's 4 cards. Oof, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful combo. I wish the rest of the support was as good, because that's a really, really good combo. And they all swing for so much. Okay, next page. I'm not going to pull all these out, but we got 6 of the Liberator Quintet Walls, 5 of the, no, I think I have another one somewhere else, 5 of the Murakumo Quintet Walls, 2 of the Jewel Knight Quintet Walls, which, if you don't know what a Quintet Wall is, Counterblast 1, drop him or her on the guard circle, and then take the top 5 cards of your deck and put them into the guard circle, as if you called them all to guard. In the current meta, it's not great. The only time people use it is with Minerva and Cider, because Cider lets you put all the cards in the guard circle into the soul. So if you combine them, you're soul charging 6, which is a lot. But it's not worth running 4 of each of those cards, because if you don't combo them together, they're really worthless, and you don't want to do it more than once per game. So, but when Legion comes out, they'll be worth it. So here we have Eradicator Ignition Dragon. This is the new Eradicator Break Ride. Counterblast, when a Narukami rides this unit, pay the cost. If you do, choose your opponent. Your opponent chooses 2 of his or her rear guards to retire them. Choose your Vanguard, gets 10k. So yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You break right over him, and your opponent chooses 2 rear guards to retire. If you move on to Tempest Bolt, whose effect is Counterblast 3, retire all of both fighters' rear guards, then you're kind of overdoing it a little bit. you could break ride him, swing for a lot, because it's still a lot with his effect, and then use his effect a few turns down the road. It keeps up the element of pressure that, like, they can't play too many rear guards or else you're just going to get rid of them. Which I think makes it pretty good. Is that everything? Yeah, that's basically everything. We also got an SP, which you saw, SP Miranda, and an SP Gansalazine, which are both very nice. Probably some of the coolest SPs I've ever seen. But all in all, I think buying a carton was cool. I think splitting it with people who need the same things as you is not a great idea, just because you don't end up with two. We didn't really end up with two playsets of any of the rares, or any of the triple rares. We ended up with multiple playsets of Neo, Nectar, and Murakumo stuff, but we didn't end up with enough, like, of anything else for multiple people to make the decks, which was, you know, kind of unfortunate, but we're still making it work, and now we have all these beautiful, like, everything in the binder here that I showed you is all trades. Oh, Jesus. Is all trades. Like, I don't intend to keep any of this. We all got the stuff we wanted, and now we're just going to trade these to try and get the rest of the stuff for our builds. Like, I need one more Minerva and two more Ashleys and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll put up this video will go up to today or tomorrow. Probably, maybe like till... This video will probably be up on Monday. So, every day, this coming week, there'll be a new video from Vanguard Vlogs. A lot of deck profiles, some battle videos, and unlike the normal week of, this is going to go from today being Monday. I know I put up the one on Friday, but that was just kind of like a preview unboxing, because I had them and I wanted to unbox them. But this week of is going to go from Monday to Sunday, because there's way more videos to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the little, like, the haul video. Like I was saying, there will be tons of videos coming up this week, and I hope BT14 is a good sign of things to come, because this is probably my favorite set in a while, and I liked all the things that are added. I really like the new Genesis stuff, and I like the Planetall Chain Ride for being kind of a smaller build. I just think the Quintet walls were a waste to put out now, because most people, like, most of them are useless right now. The only one that people are going to use, and not many people are going to use it, is the one for Genesis. All it really does is make it so that people who have them now will be making money off them later, because they'll be way more expensive when people actually want to run them with the Legion. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you think is the coolest, like, main triple R card that came out in this set. What kind of decks you plan on making out of this set, if any? If you think that the set is dumb stupid and it's brilliant strike, more like stupid poopy strike, like, you can comment all those things. I will read a lot of them because I don't have much else to do. But yeah, and let me know which deck profile you're most excited for, and let me know objectively which deck you think is the best, because personally, I'm really leaning towards Minerva. I didn't even really show Minerva in this video because she's not in the trade binder. Let me pop one over here really quick. Angels. Omniscience Regalia Minerva. Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 3. Choose 3 Genesis from your hand and discard them. At the end of the battle, this unit attacked. You may pay the cost. If you do, stay in this unit and give it 5,000 power. She also gets 2,000 power for having Regalia of Wisdom, Angelica, and the Soul, which is the break ride. So essentially, she is just a big, nice restander. She doesn't have the big drawback of Raging Form, where you have to get rid of your rear guards. But what makes that super nice is, since you Soul Blast, you have the opportunity to get Witch of Frogs and Witch of Ravens, which, if you're not familiar with those cards, I can add those as well. These are like $2 single rare cards. They both do the same thing. Counterblast 1, when they are Soul Blasted, you can call them to open rearguard circle. No, just call them to any rearguard circle. Hot diggity dang. So when you restand her, you have the potential to get a 4th row of attacks. Or at the very least, you could get rid of Witch of Grapes, Witch of Valencia, or Witch of Oranges, which is when you Soul Blast them, you Soul Charge 2 to make up for it. But I'll go into all that in more detail in my deck profile. But it's a really good deck, kids. Tell your friends. I'm coming for them. Anyways, this has been Vanguard Vlogs, and I'm super excited with you guys to be doing the week of BT14. And I promise that I will do the videos consistently every day, and I will have just as big a week of BT15 when it comes out. Catch you kids later.